it wasn't shown, but it was like, it was just way more context than what was shown. So Sophie S told me that she wanted to put that vote on Jawan. And after sending Nate home previously, my heart did not feel good about doing that. I watched season 42 and I saw how there was multiple Black people in a row getting put on the jury. And I didn't want that to happen again because it made me feel horrible watching it. And I just didn't want it to happen again. So I went to Jawan and I told him exactly what I just told you. I said, this is an out of game conversation. It could break my game, but because of this race issue, Sophie wants to put this on you, but I'm letting you know that I am on your side and I'm not going to vote for you. I will vote against her, my ally, to prevent this from happening. So it wasn't just telling Jawan just to tell Jawan. There was so much more to it. And I know some people might say, oh, you're playing a game for $1 million. Oh, don't bring race into it. And I think people that are not people of color or Black, they're not going to understand that this is always a chip on your shoulder that you have to deal with. And yeah, I think Jawan ended up, even though he said he wasn't going to tell people, he ended up, telling others, and that made it get messy and led to the result that it did.
Did that hurt you on a personal level that he did share that information, considering you said you went in like an out of game mindset to talk to him about that?
Yes.
How did that feel that he took that information and used it against you?
Yes, 100%. It was very hurtful. And I think, like, people ask me, like, were you upset with Sophie S for voting for you? And I'm like, no, because that was the game. But this was out of the game. And maybe shame on me for trying to have an out of game moment in the game. But I felt like the conversation that wasn't shown, I felt like we were on the same page. So yeah, it was extremely hurtful that he didn't try to, I was protecting him and I was on his side and he didn't do the same for me.
Were there a lot of conversations about race on out there on the island, whether with you or just other people in general? Was that happening often?
At this moment, no. And yeah, at this moment, it wasn't anything like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's all I'll say.
Like, was there no way that you guys could have kind of circled back and said, let's just go for Rizzo? He's probably not playing the idol. Let's take him out.
Well,
Not really gonna
that's the
for Rizzo.
thing because the vote was still Rizzo. The plan was still Rizzo, but it was like, if he plays his idol and Sophie wants to vote for you, Jawan, I'm not going to vote for you. I'm going to vote for Sophie. So the plan was still Rizzo until Savannah came. And for some reason that spooked people. And yeah, I don't know. Like, that's what I was telling every conversation I had. It was like, wait, so why can't we still vote for Rizzo? And I had this plan, which kind of led to what happened at tribal council that made it a live tribal council. I had this plan because I knew Savannah and Rizzo were going to put 2 votes on me. And I was like, okay, let's put 2 votes on Sophie, 2 votes on Rizzo so that it's a tie. If Rizzo doesn't play his idol, we get to revote. We can now vote for Rizzo. So that's what I was pitching. I knew that everyone was going to try to vote for me because Jawan did tell me that. So that was my way of trying to like just have another plan. So whenever I went to Jawan at Tribal, I was asking him if that was still happening, the 2-2-2 vote. And he was like, no, everyone's voting for you. And I asked him, I said, okay, well, can you at least put your vote on Sophie? Because I'm going to put my vote on Sophie. And if we can get one more person to put their vote on Sophie, we can send Sophie home. So that's what was happening when I was whispering in his ear.
My next question was going to be, what did you whisper to Jawan? So thank you for
Yeah.
it. I very much assumed Savannah had a vote. She was voting against you. You obviously didn't know the backstory about what her advantage really was, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. So we knew she was going to vote. She ended up not voting. So it makes it even funnier because, like, yeah, we definitely could have still stuck with the plan. But even if she did vote, we were prepping for her vote to count.
Okay. Okay. Did you get along with
She might have another advantage on top of that.
Did you get along with Savannah on a personal level? Obviously, you guys had that whole scene with the keys and stuff. You know, the fans like loved that whole thing because it was just two tough girls really playing the game hard, which is why I think people had love for the fans had love for both of you. But
Yeah.
what was your relationship like on a personal level with her?
Yeah, I think with Savannah, it was hard because like we were on 2 opposing tribes, but then we did have that time where we were on Hina together. And I do feel like we had some, like bonding moments, but I definitely felt like the outsider on that tribe. And there were just things that, Savannah would say or do, or that would like, Sage had a moment in this episode that it like triggered me as well. And I felt like I was getting like mean girl vibes from Savannah. So I was like, I'm not really sure that you're someone that I want to work with. Like, I'll play nice and we'll do the niceties, but I don't think that we could have ever really had like a tight bond.